All right, and we have reached the It's Just Basketball portion of the program, which means this series is over. It was over before it began anyways, but it did cause me to ask NBA Twitter, what's next for LeBron James? It is the most important question that you will hear anytime LeBron is in a contract decision year and his team is getting fucked. With that in mind, I am genuinely curious whether he decides to sign the rest of his career away in LA, where they clearly have no path to really win the West or a championship. Is he gonna tell us he might retire again? I don't know. What do y'all think? Here we've got South Beach return. I'm not sure, honestly, why either party would want to do such a thing. I mean, if I gave it thought, I guess I get it. But if he was gonna return anywhere to retire, wouldn't it be Cleveland? Every Nuggets versus Lakers result would be like, it is actually crazy how this series and the last is just, it's quite literally the same script with slight variations every single game. I've never seen anything like it. Guys, LeBron isn't leaving LA. He could have done that literally this past summer, but didn't, because he's okay staying in LA and losing. Only thing he wants to do right now is play with his son in the NBA. He might be right. You do have to remember this is 2024 LeBron, not 2018. Even if he does go somewhere else, at this point he is in the twilight of his career, we assume. Being in LA does have bright spots outside of basketball, so hopefully he leaves for all of our sanities. Lakers need to blow it up just playing for fun at this point. And this is what I'm getting at, right? Because obviously if it's up to LA, they will never probably just let LeBron James go without trying. They are absolutely playing for fun now, though. You've gotten to this point where LeBron and AD finally get to a postseason fully healthy, playing great basketball, and the team just ain't good enough. No matter what those two do, they will never get this team over the hump with the Nuggets. And not even just the Nuggets, it's just, in my opinion, not really a championship team. Even if the roadblock of a team they couldn't beat didn't exist, the West is still a brutal conference outside of that. There's no guarantee they would just go to the finals if they could beat Denver. Well, I guess if you could beat Denver, you have a great chance. Retirement, yo. AI, say what you will about AI, but I'm gonna assume this photo was AI. For NBA Twitter, it's done wonders. Oh, oh, this is devious. I want to see him play with Wemby. If I speak, formation of old heads. It is wild as we sit here and watch one era just completely fade away. It's happening. Steph not in the playoffs. KD will probably be bounced sooner than later, and LeBron is going to be bounced sooner than later. These are our guys, man. This is what we, a lot of us anyways, really grew up with, especially if you started watching from the beginning of the 2010s. This is it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow. Talk soon. I didn't realize he did this. Hey, this is great though. I wouldn't mind this. If we have to lose LeBron James from the game soon and he sticks around doing just this, I'm fine with it. I love mind the game. Although the Hornets are trying to hire JJ Redick, so I'm not sure how that would work. Man, if we lose this podcast, JJ Redick and the media in general, if we lose this podcast for him to go fuck off with the Hornets for 2 or 3 years, man, that he's staying put. Nothing LeBron has done the last 6 years gives me any indication he has any interest in leaving LA. I do feel that the situation is slightly different now though, because okay, when's the last time he had a chance to leave? He has signed an extension. I feel like it was recent. Now he's been swept by the same team twice, and this one is a first round exit. You're LeBron James doing all the work to play until the age of 100. Is it really all he wants? Because he can still obviously play at a high level. Is it really all he wants to just end in LA and retire regardless of what happens? Sure, we might get bounced in the first round. Sure, we might just not make the playoffs at all. That's fine. I'm doing all this training to play until I'm damn near 45. Yeah, this team doesn't really have a way to get over the hump. I'll just stay and play for as long as I need to though. If all he wants to do is play with his son and stay in LA until that happens, or just play with his son in the NBA in general, if this is his goal, then I could see him just staying in LA. He actually wants to compete and win. I don't know. Again, you said it's just basketball. Man, who took the time to put this together? Oh, it's a Clutch Points graphic. Okay. Full-time wine tasting. If he's not going to do podcasts, his Instagram is entertaining. Ah, man, sick people. Once again, if I speak, I have been trying to mentally make Steph and LeBron happen ever since I saw them in the All-Star game together. So there is that. At the end of the day, it's just retirement. That's a good shot. I might need to keep a counter of how many times we scroll by this. Seriously consider retirement. I know he can be the second or third best player on a championship team, but you need a team. Bro has to be on the shelf into the playoffs. Not many teams can offer that, and you don't want to ring chase, so use your next year as a farewell tour. That is the interesting part of this convo, is you start to ask kind of the same question you asked in 2018 was, where can he go that'll really make a difference in his situation right now? Going to a young Lakers team in summer 2018 was okay because he still had a while left and he had time to get AD and win. You don't really have all that time anymore. So if you go to a rebuild project, or well, obviously him just going to start something new with another franchise like the Lakers is totally out of the question. Who even has cap, and where can he go that's solidified to change his situation too? That's what makes this a muddy situation where, I mean, oh man, it might be that time. Wow. I mean, yeah, he might own the McDonald's. He should retire and honestly get into politics. Is that really what's next for Steph and Braun? We're gonna see them team up, but as part of a political party. Two options: stay in LA until retirement, which we just discussed, go to a more balanced team where he can fit in and they don't rely on him for 40 minutes a game, such as Miami or New York. I still think he can be the best player on a title team, but not the most important on both ends. If bro ever ends up in New York at any point through these last few years, I know the NBA is a script, or his career is. Also, shout out Three Kings New York. If you know, you know. Get Clay, draft Bronny, pair a center with AD, get Trae Young, play 60 games, new coach. So this all takes place with the Lakers. You know, the Trae Young thing is interesting. I never wanted to pull this card, but I would just say, amongst my adventures in life, I did hear from a very credible source once upon a time that Trae Young's goal is sadly LA. Life in LA, playing with the Lakers. Obviously now this whole sentiment has reached the media, and I will be interested to see if the Lakers go to pretty much gut their team and get Trae Young. Then does that make a difference in the LeBron's last season? Is that a possible plan with Trae and AD post LeBron for a little bit? I don't know. Keep an eye on the Trae Young saga. I'll just say that. Retirement. Take his dumbass fans with him. I used to have way more beef with LeBron fans than I do today. Back when basketball talk, I think every NBA fan goes through a stage where basketball talk is like Dungeons and Dragons to them. So I'm a full grown adult now. It doesn't really take place in my life. There was a time though where I was at war with LeBron fans. So as I scroll through these, because you're just starting to get repetitive and see photoshops of him with the Cavs, the Heat. Yeah, man, I would just say I am very fascinated. I know we have this talk about father time always. We are Spurs Photoshop. We are officially at the point where you gotta think he said himself he's running out of time. Father Time has not took its knockout swing, still really good player, can still contribute on a championship team, can probably still be #1 on the title team. It's just the options, man. And you know, maybe he does just in LA. Maybe he lets LA swing for the fences with the trade this summer, and whatever happens in his last year or two happens. That's what it feels like to me. And I did say in one of the last videos I made, I can't remember. Oh, the Heat video. That's right. LeBron does not stick around to watch ships sink if he doesn't have to. This I do know as somebody who has watched almost his entire career. If he don't have to sit and watch it sink, he doesn't. So I guess I would land on, if LA doesn't make some big move this summer, some move that really just moves the needle, then I think he would really consider going elsewhere. I don't know though. It's gonna be